Yeah, so ACEVO. And I've just seen like the Twitter reactions to this, so I haven't actually seen the article itself. But apparently they're like ditching their career mode to focus more on like the sim focus of it. Which is weird. Beto, do it in the Discord if you're gonna do it. Yeah. Is there no random number gen? If so, you can use a linear Oh, yes, sure. One of those. I was able to do random numbers in Horizon 5 custom rules, so you should definitely be able to do it in whatever software. Yeah, no, I'm sure I can. I just don't know how yet. So yeah, this, I don't know if this has the... An update on the future of Assetto Corsa EVO. With release 0.5, we want to take a moment to share an important update about the direction of Assetto Corsa EVO, shaped by ongoing discussion and feedback from our community. After careful evaluation and many internal... Here, I'm blocking all of this. After careful evaluation and many internal conversations, we've decided to move away from the current career mode and in-game economy systems. This means features such as XP, virtual currency, and economy-based progression will no longer be part of the experience. This decision wasn't taken lightly, but it allows us to focus on building a clearer, more authentic experience that better reflects what our community values and supports the long-term vision of the game. I messed up that sentence, but you get it. Rather than simply removing structure, this change allows us to replace the career mode with experiences that are more directly focused on driving and improvement. The single-player experience will continue to grow through a completely reworked driving academy, designed to be a meaningful tool for learning, improving driving skills, and mastering cars and tracks. Alongside this, we're investing in a set of competitive features and special events built around online leaderboards, hot stints, and other focused game modes. These experiences are designed to offer clear goals, replayability, and healthy competition without the limitations of a traditional economy system. By simplifying the overall structure, we gain more freedom to focus on what matters most behind the wheel, driving quality, racing, and sim depth. It also allows the team to move faster and spend more time polishing systems that many of you deeply care about, including deeper racing and simulation, strong modding, future community-driven multiplayer options, richer and more flexible single-player content, competitive features and special events based on leaderboards and time-based challenges, free roam development, and ongoing UI. While the original career mode won't be part of the final direction, providing meaningful structure for solo play remains very important to us. Our goal is to guide progression through skill, learning, and competition, rather than through an artificial economy, while continuing to support well-received features like vehicle tuning. Looking ahead, release 0.5 is meaningful, new content, UI performance, being a foundation, never been more intense with every driving simulation involved. Okay, yeah. I'll say none of that is... reading that doesn't get me excited. How about that? None of reading that was like, oh yeah, they're doing the right thing. Now, it's not to say that it means they're doing the wrong thing, because it's tough, because like we didn't even necessarily know what they were doing. Like, that's part of it, is like we only had kind of a light concept of like what the career mode was gonna be. And I mean, it seemed like it had some interesting stuff, but yeah, I lean towards they're doing the wrong thing. That is what I generally lean towards. Is, again, none of reading that got me excited. None of that was like, oh yeah, they got it figured out. I already think that ACEVO is in such a weird place with what they're doing. Like with how they're managing their online system, where it's still gonna be like through a third party, through partners and stuff like that. Yeah, it does feel like, and a couple of you guys are saying it, it does feel like they don't even know what game they're making. And that makes me nervous too, Mess, is like they in theory have built out this massive open world map, the Nürburgring Nordschleife area. Are we still going to get that? Or is that going to be like slimmed way down? Like, is that not going to have all the functionality that it originally had, where there's like missions to do and stuff like that? Like, it means that it means to me that yeah, I don't know. It's a weird. I just don't know what ACEVO is anymore. Like, what's the point of even doing the big open world maps? Then they'll abandon that. Oh wait, I kind of read that already. What I see in this message is we don't know how, so we won't. Yeah, it feels like it's a cop-out, is almost what it feels like to me. Reading this, the vibe I was getting during this was, oh, actually, this is kind of hard, and we don't really know how to lock this in, so we're just going to say that the community didn't want it, and that it's the community's idea that we're not going to do it. Like, while I was reading that is kind of the vibe I was getting from some of this, was like, oh, it's too hard, so we're just not going to do it. And we're going to say the community wanted it that way. That's the vibe I kind of got. And again, yeah, it brings up, like, why even does this exist at this point? If it's not going to have this, like, big open world career mode, which was its primary selling feature, all it is like a more pretty Assetto Corsa and a more modern Assetto Corsa, which I guess is fine, but like we don't really need that. AC1 already looks really good and runs really good, and the simulation is really good. So yeah, it's very strange. It is very, very strange. It just feels like this is... It feels like the game's kind of getting stuck in development hell. Because also, on top of this, wasn't the original plan for ACEVO that, like, the full game would be out by now? Wasn't that, like, the full plan? Like, wasn't it supposed to be, like, 6 months of early access? We were supposed to get the whole open world thing, like, last year? Like, last summer? And then now we, like, still don't have it? Oh, here we go. Beto, is this, like, the OG? Wait, is there a higher quality? Oh, wait, there is. Hold on. No, okay, that's it. That's fine. Okay, yeah, so January 15th, 2025, so just over a year ago. Yeah, we were supposed to get 1.0 by the end of last year. Does the game even have VR support yet? Fourth early access was supposed to be free roaming, so that in theory was supposed to be in the summer. I just feel like they're in development hell. I feel like they were like, hey, we need to do another Assetto Corsa. And a bunch of people threw a bunch of ideas at the wall, and they just kind of like put them all in a basket and were like, well, let's start working on all these. And there just was never really maybe the clearest vision. And I honestly do wonder, like, the whole free roam thing, we never knew too much about it. They gave us, like, it didn't feel like we didn't know too much about it when they were talking about it, but I go back and I'm like, it's not like they ever told us a lot of specific detail, and we never really saw a lot of the gameplay. We saw, like, nice, pretty shots of the open world, and we saw, like, tiny little snippets of gameplay of, like, what the open world thing would look like. But we really got, like, no concrete, like, hey, this is what a mission looks like. Hey, you're gonna go to whatever Vulcan Alpha, and he needs some metal for his spoilers, so you're gonna drive over here and get some metal, and then you're gonna drive back. Like, we never saw that. which makes me think like they never had it. And the fact that that was supposed to be in the game like half a year ago, I think they were just flying by the seat of their pants. It's crazy. They created their own engine and they're already in technical debt. Yeah. I mean, yeah, and the fact that like they seemed, now I guess if there's anything positive out of this, they do say strong modding foundations here. Which that's been a big concern, is like the new game, the way they were handling mods seemed to not be good. It seemed like what they were doing was having it be like a mod approval system, kind of like PMR actually in a way. Yeah. Yeah, it's so funny how much this has fumbled. Like, man. Yeah, considering they're canceling it, if they did have anything, it sure as hell didn't work. Right. I think if they had something that was close anyway, they would have released it. They would have seen it through. If only there was an established business in the area, their first big map IRL that they could base a career mode on. If only, mess. Unfortunately, that's just not the case. Watched Jimmy Broadbent's video a few weeks ago regarding EVO. Okay. Yeah, I don't think we'll watch it on stream, but yeah, I'll add that to the list. Yeah, it just feels like, it's funny that I've kind of never been excited about this. And every time there's an update, I'm like less excited about it. Like the initial thing came out and I was like, oh, that's really cool. Okay. I don't really know what they're doing, but it seems really interesting. And then we kind of had a lot of conversation about it, and people were kind of on two sides of the fence. And then like, how much time do I have in ACEVO? 5 hours. I have 5 hours. This has been out for a year, and I have 5 hours in it. How many people are playing it? 1,500 people are playing it. Okay. At this point, it just feels like it's gonna be another iRacing. Which, like, I guess, okay. Like, it'll probably be good. Like, visually, it's pretty. It's very pretty. The simulation is getting there. What's the like ratio on the store? I think I saw it was mixed. Currently 55%. Overall is 70%. Yeah. So it's been going down. Yeah, I mean, it looks great. It looks great. The simulation is like getting there in terms of like, it feels pretty good. But in no way does it feel like better than AC1 to me yet. Yeah, and I feel like the updates have been so piecemeal. Like what we've been getting for every update has just been tiny and seemingly like not a lot of forward progress. So the game's just in such a weird limbo. Huh. We are going to get GTA 6 before ACEVO. 100%. 100%. Me and my buddy were talking about this when they dropped the career mode stuff. Ends up with conclusion, Kunos probably can't check out their promises. I mean, Kunos is kind of a one-hit wonder studio, in a way. And admittedly, kind of only because of mods. Like, let's be honest for a minute. AC1, the base simulation was good. Was quite good. It was clearly a good foundation, but it's not like unmodded AC1 is a good game. It's not. Like, no one recommends you to go play AC1 on, like, your Xbox, because it's just not a good game. But then mods, obviously, like, carried the living crap out of that game. And then ACC has had a whole host of issues. Now, that's in a different engine. That's an Unreal game. But ACC has always been mired with, like, feedback issues, physics issues. Visually, it looks fine. Yeah, AC Rally is their best game. They're not even making AC Rally, though. Yeah, right, and they didn't even make it. Exactly. They just licensed their name to... I can't even remember who it is. And it's not going to let me do that. Well, here, I've got it. Who are the devs of that? Supernova. Yeah, that's right. Published by 505. Yeah. Which is a new team. So yeah, like, I mean, what this I think has pretty good reviews. Yeah, 91 and 92. So yeah. And AC AC Rally has good reviews as well. Yeah, 87, 85. Oh, a little lower actually. Yeah, it's just weird. Kunos. Who knows what the hell they're doing with EVO? Who knows? I just have like I just feel so blech about it all. I guess is really all I can say. Just feels kind of blech. ACEVO was supposed to be a full sequel with a bunch of extra different bits, like the open world and career in a sim game. Now they've taken out most of that. Yeah, I don't want another iRacing. I guess. We already have iRacing. We already have LMU. We already have... There's enough. I don't want to say there's enough. Competition's always good in a way. But, like, the thing at least that this was doing that was interesting was the career mode. And now all it is just another sim. We need the next PMR. We do. So this is worse than PMR. I think that depends on your perspective. I'm not going to inherently say that that's untrue. But I'm also not going to say that that's true. Yeah, I think it depends on how you look at it. I think the end product is going to be better than PMR. I think the simulation's going to be better than PMR. I think visually it already looks better than PMR. PMR's got good content, like good cars. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they're just gonna be like another multiplayer sim. Like, it's good to focus on multiplayer. Like when they say, oh, deeper racing and simulation systems, stronger modding, competitive features and special events. Like, yeah, that's all good. But couldn't they have done that without ripping out the career mode? I don't know. I'm curious what funny enough Magnus is going to think about this, because Magnus never liked the idea of a career mode. He just wanted it to be a sim. And so I wonder what he's going to think about this. Hey, it's a Supra. EVO at this point could have just been an update to AC1. I mean, I think a lot of it's a problem of vision. Of like, here's what I would say. And I said this way before we knew about EVO. What I said was, what we need is just Assetto Corsa 2 with a revamped engine and better multiplayer. That's all we need. And I still do think that if this were like marketed and sold as that, as like, hey, AC1 is pretty dated, we're just gonna go through and like update the engine, make it way more like modern, feature friendly. We're gonna make the game just look better out of the box, and we're gonna do like in-house multiplayer. Because that's the biggest issue with AC1, in my opinion. Is the biggest shortcoming of AC1 is that the multiplayer is just kind of not there. Not at least in like an iRacing perspective. And if they would have come out of the box and just said, hey, we're doing AC2, like, we're just going to carry through all the mod support, we're just going to update everything, make it look better, and, like, make our own, like, ranked racing system. I think people would have been like, yeah, okay, cool. But they, like, had all these big, grand plans, and then now they're dialing it back to kind of that, but also it's worse because like modding support seems like it's going to be a lot worse, and they're still not like doing their own multiplayer in a way. So like, yeah, I don't know. They tried to make a game for everyone and failed. Yeah, I do think the career was an attempt to approach a much more casual audience and be like, you know, the sim for everyone. To be like, you know, a little bit of Forza, a little bit of Gran Turismo, a little bit of iRacing. And then they just didn't do that. Yeah, Mitch, no, I agree. I do agree with that. Because again, we just never really saw that much of what the open world was supposed to be. We just never knew. Like, and it just makes me think it like never really crystallized. Open world map is fine even if there's nothing to do, but they have to promise something they can't do. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. Sure, like, I like that they're doing an open world map. You know, AC1's obviously famous for its open world maps, like SRP and stuff like that, but yeah, again, it all just kind of falls flat when you overpromise on it. I don't know. Yeah, exactly, Doc. We never saw it because it likely never existed in a proper form. Yeah, I do agree with that. I think it probably just never materialized in house. Yeah. I don't think Kunos made promises they couldn't keep so much as they didn't commit to the vision they allegedly had in the first place. I mean, it's both. Like they fully did not commit to promises because this, you know, I guess if you want to not call this a promise, but like they said the game would be out fall 2025 and that we would be getting the free roam, like, you know, in the summer. So that is like 100% a broken promise. But I think it's both. I think also they never really had a super clear vision of what the game was supposed to be. And I think we've seen that a lot, like in terms of the updates, in terms of what they've been saying about how the multiplayer is going to work and how the modding is going to work. I think they just like jumped in head first and were like, we'll figure it out. And then they just kind of didn't figure it out. So yeah, it bums me out because like, yeah, I wanted another, you know, I think there is a place for a replacement to AC1. This just doesn't feel like it's that right now, and it feels like it's really far away. Like I still feel, you know, okay, we're at 0.4 right now. That came out December 4th. 0.5 is on the way. I don't know if they have a date for that or anything. It still feels like we are so far away from what feels like a finished game. Like with Tokyo Extreme Racer, for example. A weird kind of example, but just they both had early access periods, and they're both games that a lot of you guys probably played. With TXR, the early access came out, and like right away, everybody knew what the game was. Yeah, you could only play some of it, and yeah, there were things missing, but like people understood exactly what the game was going to be from that early access period. And then the game came out, and it was that. Like it was pretty much that. In this, like, you can play this right now and everything just feels placeholder and nothing feels like how it's supposed to be. It just doesn't feel like a game. It feels like a mashup of a bunch of systems that like don't have a lot of cohesion because everything's like placeholder and not fully figured out, and we'll deal with that later. Yeah, it does feel like a tech demo. Yeah, it feels like a bloated tech demo. Is what it feels like. Yeah, it does look good though. It certainly does look good. Yeah, I don't know. Like I hope it eventually becomes a good game. I just don't know what that game looks like anymore. And like if it is just another iRacing, like just your other, like another LMU, another iRacing, sure. I'm sure it'll have a player base, like it already does. It doesn't interest me at that point. I don't need another iRacing because iRacing already exists. And there's already alternatives. Like, if I was getting bored of iRacing, I'd go play LMU. Or go play Live for Speed, or go play LMS2, or sorry, AMS2. You know, yeah. Or I'd go play AC1. Like, or ACC, although ACC's multiplayer is kind of dead, but yeah, I don't know. The same excuse will be used. Oh, it's just early access. It's an older version. They'll fix and polish everything for 1.0. Yeah. I just don't. I really, at this point, like, I don't see the vision to 1.0. I just don't even see what they're trying to do anymore. Yeah, they say, so previously their take on mods was like, again, it's not, they never had like an official thing for mods. But what they were saying was like, there was an implication that there were going to be approved mods. Like there would be a mod approval system where you could like make cars and tracks and then, you know, send them to get approved, and then they could get approved and be added to the game or whatever. It didn't look like they wanted it to be full mod support like AC1. This does say, you know, stronger modding foundations. But what does that mean at this point? I feel like that's just saying something for the sake of saying something. It just doesn't even feel like a real... It doesn't feel real to me. Because, like, what's the... Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Yeah. Okay, I really think they're not going to do that. The modding thing, yeah. It's corpo marketing speak to make a shit announcement sound a little better. That's what it reads to me. That's how it reads to me. It's just kind of a nothing burger. It doesn't really mean anything. Yeah. So anyway, that's ACEVO. It's part of a game, sort of. And eventually it will probably become something. Like, I think they're gonna see it through. I will say that. I do think they're gonna see it through because I don't think they have a choice at this point. And I do think AC is like enough of a big name and an established name that it's got some purchasing power. I just feel like it's a very long ways off, like years at this point. And keep in mind, we were supposed to have the full game months ago. This car looks really great. I really like the race car BMWs, I gotta say. It makes the big pig nose grill look way better. Anyway, off topic. I really feel like this isn't going to be a game for another, like, 2 years. I don't know. Because it feels so far away from a game right now. AC as a name will be fine so long as Rally doesn't also go tits up. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Yeah. AC is still a very big name. And it still will be. And again, yeah, AC Rally is doing well. Yeah. So we'll see. Thank God I didn't spend my money on EVO. Yeah, I got a review copy for it, so I guess I didn't either. But, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. And, like, it's weird because, like, they still haven't even really figured out the simulation either. Like, it still doesn't feel as good as as AC1. Which is kind of ass backwards. But yeah, I think they're gonna get it there. If they're good at anything, it is physics, but it just needs time. needs time and it needs work. And maybe some of the, it's not like I've driven a bunch, and maybe some of the other cars in point 4 are like feel better. Yeah. I've managed to find fun running online practice laps on NERB servers, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure, like, there's 1,500 people playing it right now. Like, there's fun to be had. It's just, from my perspective, like, why play this over something else? Why play this over, you know, GT7 or iRacing or AC1? You know, like, there's stuff to do, but yeah, it's just not very cohesive.